no Ray Nobodies, no SJWs, no defenders of trannies, etc., etc. We don't do that here. We call a spade a spade. All right, that's what we do. I want to talk a little bit about a lot of stuff. First off, it's April 15th, it's tax day. Everybody's cringing, trust me. Joe Biden got his not so fair share. Right back at you, Joe. And what else is going on? The acolytes getting killed in the dislikes and comment section still, which makes me happy. J.K. Rowling is daring people to try to get her arrested for calling men and being very upset that there are some very strange men out there that think they should be allowed to walk among us dressed as women. I know, I'm gonna hear it. It doesn't hurt anybody. Not until they walk into a woman's bathroom and try to rape a teenager. Okay, that's the problem. And a lot of these people are not, they're not liking their own, if you know what I mean. They're fetishizing women's bodies. All right. And I mean, these are the kinds of guys that used to walk around wearing suits with women's panties on. All right, that's what we've got going on here. And my video this morning was about feminism is dead. When you allow women, like name them from the people who want Ray, okay, not interested. We don't do Nazi shit here. And just to warn you, my father dropped bombs on people who do shit like this. So fuck off. Stay the fuck off my channel. Okay, so I've noticed that even in the Girl with the Dogs channel, a lot of trolls are showing up, putting nasty shit up. I don't want to talk politics, especially geopolitics right now. This is about basically the death of feminism. Okay, all right, and my give a damn breaks when I see girls get raped. All right, my give a damn breaks when I see people being used as pawns and they don't understand it. My give a damn breaks when I see people who've been targeted for millennia being abused again because the religion they follow and the ethnic group they are. Okay, we don't do that here, and I don't talk about that shit here. Okay, I've got friends from all over the place: Jew, Muslim, Protestant. I'm Catholic. Pagan, Wiccan. It doesn't matter. If you come on here and you start shit, you're gone. Okay, you're gone. And I'm not kidding. Okay, that belongs in Iran. It belongs with ISIS. It belongs with shit of the shit of the planet. Okay, and I don't tolerate it. All right, my uncles opened up the concentration camps. My dad's best friend was killed at St. Lo in the invasion of Normandy, and I know way too much about punching Nazis for real. My mother did that. All right. So keep that shit off my channel. Because the moment you start taking someone and turning them into the other, the moment I'm done. Okay. That's the moment I'm done. Okay. So if you're on here, you're a whatever, and you want to get your message out, go stand out in front of Chicago O'Hare Airport. Okay. Go back to your campus. Get the fuck off my channel. This is a Star Wars channel. All right. And it's about American culture as a whole, not your sick, racist, bigoted, angry fetish. Okay, which is what it is. I mean, we don't hate anybody. All right, we don't even, I don't want the LGBTQ community bothering children. I have a lot of gay friends who don't want them to bother children. Okay, there's a difference. All right, just like I say, leave people alone. Okay, now let's get back to J.K. Rowling. So she's been daring them to go after her, and it's really interesting to me because the Scottish police won't do anything, and it's sad. And the reason why it's sad is, look, you go to any Star Wars channel that's not Fandom Menace, Star Wars Explained is the worst one. I'm still waiting for them both to come out saying she's transitioning to be a man and he's transitioning to be a woman, then it would be perfect. Okay. Anyway, they insist on this attack on women, on, they allow men to fetishize our women's bodies. Woman face is black face as far as I'm concerned. And they think it's okay. And then they sit around screaming about white heterosexual men. What the fuck? Okay? You're telling a guy that looks like a freaking bullfrog in a skirt, just a second, a freaking bullfrog in a skirt, that he's okay. He's okay. He's okay. Dressing like a woman, coming into a woman's bathroom, showing up at school. It's okay for people like that to read to children. No, it's not. It's not, but these people will defend it and scream about how they're great feminists. No, feminism is dead. If you allow the LGBTQ plus activists into your thing is dead, because you as a person, women as people, disappear. That's exactly what's going on. And Rowling is upset about it, and she's challenging them, and they're losing their fucking minds. And it's fantastic. All right. But look at the people that these women, you name them, and Gail Simone, Claudia Gray, Justina Ireland. I'm sure she's probably got posters of Kamala Harris on her knees in her apartment. E.K. Johnston, Molly Damon, running around. They've lionized Kathleen Kennedy, a woman who, once she got away from the men that basically made her a success, she fucking dropped the ball. Okay, it's not like she was Dawn Steele. It's not like she was Sherry Lansing or Lucille Ball or any of the women that have actually gone into the movies and done well for themselves. She was hitched to Steven Spielberg, John Milius, God bless him, George Lucas, Martin Scorsese, Robert Zemeckis, Clint Eastwood. Okay, and of course her husband, Frank Marshall. And Molly Damon and the rest of these females believe the bullshit. They believe that she had something going on that made her like this independent, strong-minded woman. What? Look at the box office between The Force Awakens and The Rise of Palpatine. What's wrong here? What happened? The box office went down considerably by what Disney and the trades gave the Last Jedi, said it was going to make 2.5 billion. It made 1.3. It made over $1 billion less than it was supposed to. Okay. The Rise of Palpatine barely made $1 billion. Okay. This isn't good. Solo, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. The only movie that was decent that came out of the sequel trilogy era was Rogue One. And it was like, okay, it made $1 billion, but, but this woman is lionized because she's a woman and because she may not be woke herself, but she allows shit like Andor to be made. She allows Larry Kasdan's son, John, to make Lando Calrissian Pando Lando. Like, I was watching Tucker Carlson today, and he was talking about. No, was it him? I can't remember. But somebody was like, they talk about pansexuality. I don't even know what the fuck it is. Oh no, it was Jordan Peterson. And it's like, what the? It's just another way to say bisexual. That's all it is. I mean, it's another word in their word salad that they make. And they wonder why people are pissed off. Okay, they wonder why, the Rey stuff, when they're honest, and they're not honest, but when there's a moment of, holy shit, this isn't really good, the Rey merchandise doesn't sell. They wonder why Adam Driver won't come back. They wonder why the Rey movie is likely not happening. And the reason why is because no one wants it. Disney's not going to make it. Like I said, between The Acolyte, Disney Plus, and The Bestest Ever, which does the most damage to the franchise? The Bestest Ever. All right, more money spent on the production, on the cast, on basically everything that I can't understand a word you're saying, so you gotta go. I don't know if that's, I don't know what language that is. I think it might be Russian, which I don't really care, or Greek, but you probably know English, so just try English. Anyway, where was I? So I was talking about, what would do the most damage. Obviously, the Rey movie would, which is why they're not doing it. We're getting, apparently, Mando and Grogu is going to start filming on the 17th of June, which happy birthday to me. Okay. I can't wait. All right. I literally, I can't wait. All right. Because that is going to be a fun ride. And then we got Filoni developing Heir to the Empire. And I am going to challenge people who want to believe that the sequel trilogy, all roads lead to the sequel trilogy. First off, that's a very easy cop-out for Nerdrotic, Ryan Cannell, Geeks and Gamers, Midnight's Edge, everybody to go after, because no one is going to challenge them on that, because they depend on their subscribers to go, hey, wait a minute. All right. So, all right, talked about The Acolyte being the lesser of all evils here. I want to ask you guys a question. I want you to think about it. You're watching Ahsoka. Now, I'm going to say this. I hate Sabine, and I hope she's killed off. First off, I hate smugness in a woman. She's smug. It's annoying. She needs to go away. Okay, period, full stop. Hera is a boring throwaway character. Her son changed his name to Goofball. I don't care. I don't like that either. They don't need to be in this. They need to be set aside and off to the side. But the most important thing is Ahsoka and episode 5 and 6 and the very end. And of course, Baylan Skoll, because they're all connected to each other. Where is Anakin Skywalker now? Now, I've asked this before, but I'm going to ask you guys. Where is he? He's in the world between worlds. Hey, Mike. And if I didn't say hi to Matt, hey, Matt. He's in the world between worlds. Why? Isn't he a Force ghost? Or is he? His destiny was given to him and told to him by the Father on Mortis. And when you see him approaching Ahsoka, basically in that part, that is telling you that things are already changing. Because look, for Anakin to be the chosen one, he doesn't have to be a Jedi or Sith, all right? He is the balance of the Force itself, all right? What is the Father? I mean, how many people here have seen Clone Wars? All right, raise your hands. How many people here have seen the Mortis arc? Hope all of you. The Father creates the balance between the Son and the daughter. The daughter is the embodiment of the light side. The Son is the embodiment of the dark side. And the Father balances them both out. When you watch the first episode of the Mortis arc, the Father is not a protagonist. He's an antagonist. All right. When you watch Anakin with Ahsoka, he goes from being Master Skywalker to dashing between Darth Vader and Anakin. Okay. The light and the dark side. And that tells you that he has become something more than a Jedi and more than just what we thought the chosen one was. He is replacing the Father. So he's in the world between worlds. We've got Ahsoka, after her meet up with him and the last lesson he taught her, going to Peridia, helping to find Ezra. And we've got Baylan Skoll separating himself from Shin. And the last time you see him, he's standing on the arm, high sci-fi universes, of the Father, pointing to a beam of light coming out of the top of what looks like a pyramid. What was Mortis? It looked like a diamond shape. And a diamond is nothing more than a pyramid. A pyramid's diamond cut in half. Okay. There you go. So when you hear someone, out there, it doesn't matter who they are, saying the sequel trilogy is inevitable, why would Anakin Skywalker allow that to happen? Don't you think Palpatine, will be very shocked as he's running around trying to figure out which door to open, and he's confronted with Anakin, okay? What do you think Anakin's going to do to him? All right, that it's already starting to change. So, you ask, any of these people, where's Anakin? They're probably going to rationalize and say, it doesn't matter, yada, yada, yada. Yes, it does. Here's another thing, which is out there. You're watching Mando Season 3, and there's a mask in the introduction missing. Look, what are you talking about? What? I think he's already back, Brett. I think he's already been back. What's missing, though? What's missing in the intro? Kylo Ren's mask. Kylo Ren. The Reylos, uh, whatever, all right, it's missing. And it costs a pretty penny to change those, all right. They have to go to the people that make them, say, we want this out. We want this in, we want this out. So when you watch the intro to Ahsoka, you don't see any sequel trilogy at all. You don't see BB-8. You don't see Captain Phasma. You don't see the mule-faced boy. Okay, you don't see that piece of shit character at all. All right, interesting. There you go on that one. Bob Iger at the first earnings call this first quarter, doesn't mention Rey. He mentions the Acolyte. He mentions Grogu and Mando. That's it. All right. And it's like, okay, so what? This is the thing you look. If you have YouTube and you're monetized, and I've noticed this now because I have just put my thing on there to be monetized, even though I'm not making any money on it. And the reason simply is I want to know what goes on here and why things happen, what the algorithm is, blah blah blah. And I'm not making any money, and I don't want to. Okay, I'm not here to do that. The reason why they put this shit out there and why they push the misery index for you, the viewer, forward, they're not making any money unless they put content out. And if they have to make shit up, I don't know, sci-fi, and if they have to make shit up, and we know who does that, they will. Okay. This is why they don't have people who disagree with them on. And the reason, again, is if you have someone who says, that's not what's going on, I mean, you know, the DK brothers, the cease and desist club over at whatever, they make shit up. Because they have to. Because this is the only way they make money. And this is how YouTube does their algorithm. You have to put content out. And the more outrageous and angry you get on your channel, the more clicks you will have. So basically, it becomes not a place of integrity, not a place where the truth is told. It becomes a place where you make shit up to make money. Okay, and like, you know, I'll give you an example. I'm not going to play Star Wars Outlaw, that new game from Ubisoft, because I think the story behind it was supposed to be Han Solo. That's who it was supposed to be. And it ended, yes, and Mike is right. They turned it into this ugly, skinny, non-feminine little cow. And again, you've got a woman behaving like a man. And it's like, I'm sorry, we don't act that way. And it just looks stupid. Okay, again, femme-centric. A bunch of wokesters got together and decided to invade a space they weren't wanted and fucked something up. And I predict this game will not do well. I really do. And I'm being honest with you. I'm not making any money by yelling and screaming about it. There you go. Ahsoka. I thought it was fine. I'm not a Sabine Wren fan. I fucking hate her smugness. And as far as I can say, if she gets into a fight with Shin, I hope Shin beheads her and then we're done. Shin is a cool character. Ahsoka's not. Okay. Morgan Elspeth, was I? No. Sabine is not Ahsoka. Ahsoka is cool. What am I saying? Shin's a cool character. Sabine is not. Morgan Elspeth is a cool character. Hera Syndulla is a boring fucking throwaway character that is only there because she was in Rebels, and we had to have a weird romance between a Twi'lek and a human. You know, which is just gross. So there you go. I look at this and go, they're not going to tell you what was good about it. All right, they're not going to, and of course, they're not going to sit there and give Hayden Christensen any kudos. They're not going to, look, the battle between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Vader in Kenobi, that's, not something they want to talk about. They don't want to say that was good because they want you to believe that broke canon, and it did not. Okay. They're not going to say, we liked seeing Obi-Wan with Vader. We liked seeing Obi-Wan with Leia. Reva wasn't, the girl playing Reva wasn't a good actress. That story wasn't fleshed out as well as it should have been. Okay. They're not going to say that because to be objective is to take away the algorithm that makes them money. So you hate everything, there you go. You can put, this is happening, and everybody, the Acolyte's happening, so what? Look at the dislikes. Look at the comments. I don't think they're gonna pull it off of Disney Plus now. But, we've been surprised by shit before. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, the marketing for the Acolyte's been very sparse. I mean, Empire Magazine, which is stupid fan boy publication, did a thing on it. Big deal. I didn't read it. Did you? Why am I going to read that? This is not going to happen the way the wokesters think and the way that the black pills think. It's not going to happen that way. But again, you make money by chasing the algorithm. All right. And now that I know that, I'm like, okay, I've got it. This is why the rage porn exists. This is why credible sources are shit on. Okay. They're shit on because the rage porn that is the lifeblood of Nerdrotic, Midnight's Edge, Ryan Cannell, and the rest of this shit, you know what I'm saying? They need it to be bad. And even if it's not bad, they will insist it is. So you click on and you give them their AdSense money. Okay. It is a very strange way to make a living. Let me explain why. Right now, we're at the edge of World War III. All right. In several different places, Russia, the Middle East, etc. If someone like North Korea ever drops a nuclear hydrogen bomb in the atmosphere over Nebraska, YouTube is dead. All right, your outlet for making money, your ability to get that money is gone. You will have none. So you better have an alternate way, a real way of making cash, right? And that's not just for the black pills. That's for Star Wars Explained, Jason Ward, Steele Saunders, and the rest of this, Star Wars Theory even. The rest of these people, all right? Because what they're doing it is not significant. It is not real. It is not like they're going to a factory every day and making pots and pans, or going to an armament plant and making M1 Abrams tanks. You know what I'm saying? They're not raising cattle. All right. And hi Byron, how are you? So there you go. All right. I just look at this and go, you guys are not going to survive if the shit hits the fan. All right. That's the problem with YouTube. Kojak, stop that. I got my other phone on the thing, and it's like, well, it's everything that's been going on is sad. But when you get to the point where you're basically telling lies and making shit up, doomcock, or you're just being the most emotional dumbass, like neurotic, to make money, and you've got a big following, a lot of these guys, look, if John does it right, and from what I have heard, and I've talked to somebody that knows Sparrow, and I'm not talking about Cameron, and they basically said, and I'm using they, not the pronoun they, but they basically said that what they've got for the basis is so good you can't believe it. And in fact, if you are a fan of the original heroes, you'll be crying and not, why did they do that to him? No, it's gonna be like, my God. It's gonna be great. All right, it's gonna be great. The problem that I think Disney faces is their inability to change the narrative. And what I mean, and I know I've got a lot of people from all over the world now hanging out here. In the United States, in our political milieu, there's something we call the narrative. And if you get your narrative out there for whatever it is, be it a war in Afghanistan, be it the stock market or whatever, you get your part of the story out there, and it has to become what the public follows. Okay. Right now, the narrative is owned by YouTube, and everything Star Wars that Disney's ever made sucks, which isn't true. And Jon Favreau are my favorite. These are my favorite narratives. Jon Favreau got so pissed off he left last year. Well, he's making Mando and Grogu. And when Carl Weathers died, John spoke on behalf of Lucasfilm. I thought Kathleen Kennedy was there forever, like a giant barnacle on the ass of a lobster, okay? I don't. All right. But that is the narrative in a lot of people. Oh, yeah, I think he probably did sci-fi. And a lot of people want to believe it. All right. It's not true at all, but they need to have it true. And they need to tell you that it's true in order for their narrative to get them money. Okay. Michael Douglas saying greed is good. There's a point where you're like, to a point, but where's Kathy? She didn't address the Carl Weathers passage. She did not announce Mando and Grogu. And she was not interviewed at all for the Empire magazine. Harvey's former personal assistant was. Now, if I say Sparrow told Cameron that Kennedy is now bent the knee to Iger and is taking leave soon, and I think probably sooner than people want to expect. you got to sit here and go, why don't people see what's obvious? And you don't need Sparrow for this. First off, if you follow Instagram, Frank has got an Instagram account. He spent more time in Europe after Indiana Jones came out last year, all the way into the fall. Okay, more time on vacation, and then in Mexico and other places than you could imagine. And you know perfectly well that Kathy was with him because there were pictures. Okay, they put their house for sale in Malibu, and for 18.9 they dropped it $2 million to 16.9. Then they dropped it to 14.9, and then I think around the 1st of March it sold for 12.6. Not a good thing. Okay, not a good look. But first off, high-end real estate in California is not selling for what it did because the economy sucks. Second of all, it's not that good of a house. I saw houses for like 7 million that were the same size with movie theaters in them. All right. Now, granted, there's a infinity pool out there, looking over onto Malibu Beach and down the cliffs. Which would you rather have? An outdoor kitchen and an infinity pool, or a movie theater where you can just go and watch a movie? My money's on the movie theater. Okay, because pools are a pain in the fucking ass to take care of, and if you got money to buy something for $7 million, you can put a pool in. Okay, just there you go. So they sold that house. She is not making any public statements. Her darling boy Kyle Ron's mask is no longer part of the intros to the live action stuff. And it's all John and Dave. And probably George hovering in the background. George is getting honored with an honorary Palme d'Or at Cannes in May. All right. You start thinking about this stuff, and you start looking at the people like, WDW Pro and the rest of that garbage. You make shit up, dude. Because they do. All right? They do. And I'd rather not make money and do this as a hobby and have fun with it than have to worry about content and putting shit out every day, because I don't do this every day. I try to. I don't think we're going to have to wait for Kennedy's contract to expire. I think we're either going to be told she has gone on leave, and Jon Favreau is now the interim president of Lucasfilm while they run their search, which I don't think they're going to run it very far. What I think they're going to do is probably, thank you, Mad, they're probably going to go and probably put John in that place. I will let you out. Don't do that to yourself. He likes to scratch himself behind the ears, and he hurts himself, and it's like, don't do that, weirdo. Anyway, so I think we'll probably at least get told soon. May the 4th is going to be huge, okay? And someone asked about Mark and Harry and about them coming back. Don't be surprised. I think Harrison got a bad taste in his mouth from the sequel trilogy, and I think the idea of fixing what was broken and respecting what George created with them and Carrie, I think means a lot. And I definitely think Mark would and Mark will. And it's one of those things where you know I what pride and joy, what is that? you know well, yeah, it's, oh yeah, okay, now I get it, Marty. Yeah, why hasn't Kathy been talking about the Acolyte? Now, the people who make shit up, I love this beam of light right here, it's cool. The people who make shit up want her to come back. So they will tell you that, well, she said this and that, and you can't find any evidence she did. All right. Then they sit there and say, Cameron's lying, or I'm lying, or whatever. It's like, no, we're not. Look, if your reporter won't shut up about stuff that you might get sued after, he's not a legitimate investigative journalist. I mean, that's my favorite. Jonah's an investigative journalist. No, he's not. He's a guy. They're all just guys, okay? They're all angry guys who, if you look at that, well, anyway, I'm not gonna say it, but anyway, no, Kathy has not said a word publicly since before last July, okay, since before Dial of Destiny came out. And she has been persona non grata, all right, publicly. I mean, they had a big Jimmy Buffett tribute at the Hollywood Bowl, and with everybody. I think the Eagles were there. Yeah, I think so too, Mike. I think the Eagles were there. Oh God, there were so many people. And Frank Marshall would play with the Coral Reefers when he could. I mean, he played bass for that band with Jimmy. He knew Jimmy really well, and so did Harrison. They're out there singing along to some song, and I think Paul McCartney was there too. And I think Kennedy is nowhere to be seen. Now, she could have been behind the scenes, off the stage, but no, she wasn't there. She wasn't. She didn't stick her face out there, did she? All right, so I dare you guys to go on one of these big YouTube channels and go, "Where's Kennedy? How come she didn't make a public announcement?" And then watch them rationalize it to fit the narrative they've created. All right, because it's the only way they make money, which is kind of sad. All right. So anyway, okay, there that goes again. Anyway, it goes off for like 10 seconds. So anyway, what else? We talked about J.K. Rowling, The Acolyte, May the 4th with Tales of the Empire is going to be great. I was calling it Tales of the Sith, and I'm like, what? That's why my brain thinks in the morning if I don't have coffee. I'm like, I can't wait. I mean, May the 4th is going to be very interesting. A couple of days from now, we get another Bad Batch thing, and it's going to be excellent. Well, yeah, and there's not, I mean, look, another major league statement. No celebration this year. None. Or we'd be talking about it right now because it had been going on. Okay. No celebration this year, which makes you go. And then next year it's going to be in Tokyo. All right. Oh, I would too. Oh yeah, Brett, I think, look, as far as that goes, I think the sky's the limit. I think that everything is on the table. Anything to rehabilitate the characters, okay? But what has to happen, I mean, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna let you go because my voice is starting to go out. Here's the deal. Bob Iger got his board members seated, but he was left wounded and bloody. Nelson Peltz has said, I'm not going anywhere. 69%, and I was talking to a financial guy yesterday, and I said, 69% is not a big deal. It's not, it's not like, he's omnipotent. And he goes, no, it's not. That's not good. All right. Nelson Peltz is really good friends with Elon Musk. All right. I would not be surprised at all to see a hostile takeover. Now, is it going to happen? I don't know. But don't be surprised if it does. All right. Which would definitely set a precedent to get the woke shit out. Okay. Because if you've got Elon as one of the board members, and you've got Nelson Peltz, and they see other people who are disgusted by the way the shares are performing and by the way Disney's been managed, you're going to see the woke go completely out, gone, okay? And Iger is never going to go and be overt about this, all right? It'll just disappear because he doesn't want to get people pissed off. That's Bob Iger. Okay, I gotta go. I'll see you guys later. Have a good afternoon and see you around the galaxy.